It feels amazing to surf. That cannot be disputed. When you're riding a wave, time slows down, you stop thinking about anything, and the outside world simply disappears. You're in shock. You've found your flow. However, what does that actually mean? And how does it affect the way your brain functions? The most powerful puppet master is our imagination. It governs our motivation, energy levels, decisions, fears, and emotions. What if our knowledge of the functioning of the brain increased? Could we manipulate it to function more in our favor? Exercise in natural settings is better for your mental health than exercising in other locations. Similarly, surfing is a complete workout that works the body and the mind. Its health advantages go well beyond the excitement of riding a wave. Surfing may be used to treat conditions including post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anxiety, and insomnia. Ever wonder what your mind is thinking about when you surf? Searching for the logic, science, and rationale underlying the stoke you feel in the water. The sayings, "only a surfer knows the feeling and there's no greater high," are frequently repeated, but they never seem to fully satisfy us. We've made the decision to investigate the causes of this and have a thorough examination of the inner workings of a surfer's mind. Not quite, but we do have some thought-provoking responses for you. A cocktail of feel-good chemicals is released into your brain when you supreme. Harvard Medical School claims that regular exercise enhances memory by promoting specific brain chemicals that support the growth of new blood vessels and the survival of brain cells. It also lessens tension and anxiety and enhances mood and sleep. The brain receives a strong dose of some awesome chemicals when surfing. This chemical concoction aids in maintaining focus. Additionally, it gives you a pleasant feeling. It is reasonable to conclude that surfing significantly improves mood. Every big achievement of riding a new wave is rewarded proportionately, resulting in a rush of neurochemicals that induce a euphoric mood, sometimes referred to as runner's high. Let's examine some of the substances that are being released. The adrenal glands release adrenaline, also known as epinephrine in medical terminology, in reaction to danger or terror. The brain also produces norepinephrine, a hormone that is extremely comparable to adrenaline. Similar to adrenaline, it sets off the fight or flight response, which speeds your breathing, heart rate, and blood flow to help you cope with stressful circumstances. Our mood is regulated by serotonin, a neurotransmitter also referred to as the happy chemical. Higher amounts of this mood boost a lower stress and boost your self-confidence. Low levels of serotonin are linked to anxiety and sadness. It is also accountable for the euphoria you feel, both throughout and following a surfing session. Endorphins, often referred to as the body's natural painkillers, these feel-good hormones can help you get through any scenario by masked pain and discomfort. Euphoria is also associated with endorphin release. Surfing is really employed in recovery centers as a way to replace the drug and alcohol, high with the endorphin rush that comes from riding a wave. Dopamine. This neurotransmitter regulates the reward and pleasure areas of the brain, making it even more potent than endorphins. Dopamine is released in anticipation of a surf session and is released in extremely high quantities following an unexpected success, like riding that monster peak you never thought you could or catching your first wave. Dopamine is linked to addiction because it makes you want more and more of something. The benefits of negative ions. Medical professionals have advised patients to spend time at the beach for decades. We can feel calm and content just by being near the pounding waves, as the water has a naturally calming influence on the brain. Have you ever pondered, though, why this occurs? The wave's smashing energy releases negatively charged ions that change brain waves and cause the body to create feel-good neurotransmitters. Negative ions are present in several places, particularly those near big amounts of water, even though they are invisible to the human eye and odorless. More specifically, water molecules form these oxygen atoms with negatively charged electrons because they cause the production of serotonin and endorphins, magical neurotransmitters that reduce stress and elevate our mood. Negative ions are nature's antidepressant. The brain receives more oxygen when there are negative ions present, which promotes mental acuity and vigor. Additionally, they stimulate the activity of alpha brainwaves. Learn more about these by reading on. Consequently, breathing clean air will make you happy, just as much as the satisfaction of riding a wave. Surf recovery modifies your brainwaves. The parasympathetic nervous system is stimulated by the breathing patterns utilized in diving and swimming. This affects brainwaves and relaxes the mind, causing the release of feel-good chemicals. Brainwaves come in 5 varieties. These are theta, delta, gamma, beta, and alpha in order of speed. The more lethargic brainwaves are more prevalent when we're feeling worn out and lazy. The quicker brainwaves are active when we are feeling focused and energized. When confronted with a wave, your brainwaves quicken, and you must remain concentrated on the work at hand. The fastest brainwaves, known as gamma waves, are linked to learning, memory, and swift task processing. When a sharper level of awareness, logic, or reasoning is required, beta waves come into action. Although beta waves are linked to improved focus, an excess of them can also raise stress levels. Alpha waves are to blame for our feelings of relaxation and daydreaming. At this frequency, which lies between the conscious and subconscious minds, we enter the flow state when alpha waves take over. Theta waves, they can take control during profound concentration, although they typically happen during sleep. Our capacity for creativity and intuition is enhanced by theta waves, which let us to process information outside the realm of ordinary consciousness. Theta waves assist in bringing you into the flow state in addition to alpha waves. The slowest and loudest brain waves, known as delta waves, are predominant during deep meditation or dreamless sleep. Feeling awe increases alpha and theta brainwave activity and calms the frontal lobes, synchronizing the left and right brains. When the alpha and theta brainwaves gain control, a condition known as flow is attained. It is similar to the meeting place of the conscious and subconscious minds. When we concentrate on something like catching the next wave, writing a fantastic paper, or completing a fantastic project at work, we begin with beta waves and work our way up to alpha and theta. We are operating at our best when alpha wave activity rises. Theta waves are activated during periods of high creativity, and we experience a aha moment, that fleeting flash of insight when we manage to make all the connections. Surfing is a meditation method. It's clear now that practicing meditation doesn't always require you to sit still on a braided cushion in a silent room. One of the numerous shapes it might take is surfing. You can enter a meditative state just by looking out at the ocean. Surfing forces you to focus your thoughts on the here and now, clearing your head once you're in the water. Dissociative states are experienced by surfers and are comparable to those of long-term meditation practitioners. The brain's chemical surge is followed by a slowdown caused by the parasympathetic nervous system and a halt to the creation of cortisol, or the stress hormone. The predominant brainwave type is alpha, which is associated with a calm mental state and the elimination of unpleasant ideas. Your mind's agitated discourse abruptly ends. Long after a surf, surfers still feel great and can concentrate better on all the other things they have to do, because that would require mapping each surfer's brain, and it is not practical to link a surfer up to an MRI when they are inside a barrel. We are unable to truly understand what goes on inside their heads. Each of us is different, and the experiences and obstacles we have encountered throughout our lives shape the way we feel at any given time. A pro may find anything that a novice surfer considers too easy, but what really makes surfing such a great sport is the variety of the experience.